Good morning. Good morning, everybody who might be watching. Um, Today, I'm going to discuss a little bit about log home landscaping and some of the things that you can do to help your log home service provider before they arrive. Number one, log home landscaping around your log cabin can be quite problematic for our team of restorers, for lack of a better word, or team of log masters. Things that you can do, number one, before we arrive, go ahead and remove all your landscaping decorations that are close to the home within about 10 to 20 feet. If you do have some bushes that you want to protect that are close to the home, we highly recommend that you either use like a trash sack or some plastic and cover your plant so that it doesn't receive damage. Now, admittedly, homes where the landscaping is next to the house do often get damaged. This is typical and almost impossible to avoid as we work on your log home, especially when log rot is present. The problem with that is that when log rot is present above your landscaping, we have to get in with heavy equipment and we do a lot of chipping away of the log rot. And that debris and action of doing those things oftentimes leaves the plants that you have near it damaged, typically from the fall of log rot or any other kind of things that we do during that day. So we highly recommend and that you cover them up, but do understand there is a limit to what we are capable of doing when it comes to protecting any type of landscaping close to the home. Now, this isn't to say that we don't try our hardest to avoid landscaping problems, such as a bush that is near the log cabin, but in reality, it is difficult to protect them. So, if you haven't planted any like bushes near your log home, please do not. And keep in mind that your log home service providers will need to be near the home and could damage some of that landscaping. Now, to go further into thinking about the landscaping, one thing you need to keep in mind again is that they're going to be guys that are near your log home carrying 5-gallon buckets, scaffolding, plastic tarps, big machines like media blasters and compressors, and so on. So, if you think of it like that, is your landscaping going to get damaged? Well, it depends how close that landscaping is to your home. And like I said, it's very hard for us to not end up damaging anything within the 10 to 20 feet near the home. Now, like I said, we do try hard to protect them when we are there, but keep in mind that it is difficult. Some other things to keep in mind is when you are doing your landscaping, another reason not to plant your bushes too close to your home is that it does cast shadows on your log cabin. And when you cast shadows on your log cabin, you are in effect making it difficult for the logs to have what is called natural drying. Now, natural drying is something that happens to all log cabins after rain or snow or any kind of weather condition where it gets wet. And it does not damage the stain as long as it's able to naturally dry. However, if you create shadows on the log cabin, this will prevent the natural drying process from doing it as quickly as possible. And by having that water sit there, not dry away, it has the ability to cause an intrusion or for it to leak into the logs themselves. So it is highly recommended that you do not plant landscaping close enough to your home that it casts a shadow on the logs, especially on the north side. And while we're talking about the north side, let's talk about that. It's good to know the directions that your home is sitting in: the north, the west, east, and south. The north walls receive the least amount of sunlight, thus, do not put anything too close to the house on the north side, as natural drying will become difficult because of that. You want to be able to allow as much sunlight as possible, even indirect sunlight, to hit the sides of your cabin. So if you can position your cabin on your landscaping, if you haven't built it already, try and position it in a way so that sunlight will hit each side of your cabin. So position it so that your house is kind of cattywampus on the compass, so that both your west wall and south wall and your north and east wall get a little bit of sun in the morning and a little bit of sun in the evening. But if that's not the case for you because you bought a home that's already been made and landscaped, then you have to do what we call is planning, which is to look at your landscape and plan for a log home restoration. You see, log home restorations are pretty common. We have them if you own a log home, you can expect to be doing a future restoration within about 3 to 5 years, depending upon where you're located. In Colorado, it's a fairly dry environment, so log cabins often can last longer. Their stains tend to hold longer because we don't have such a high moisture count here. However, in areas like Missouri, where our Missouri branch is, the humidity is quite high all year long. Thus, it's a little easier for log homes to rot out faster due to the humidity itself. So you do keep that in mind, knowing that if you're in Colorado, you probably can go a little longer before your next restoration. But if you live in a high humidity area, you're likely to need a restoration sooner than the average person. So with that being said, stains do last a very long time, and they can last about a good 3 to 5 years if you've maintained them, even in a high humidity area. If you maintain them regularly and follow log home education advice as to how to maintain your stain on your log home and how to keep your log home from having log rot, if you follow some of these simple things, you can actually extend the life of your stain longer than the warranty extends. However, again, stains don't last forever. They do have a limited time, and a log home is always going to need maintenance. Perhaps you didn't think of that when you bought your log home because nobody informed you of that. And for that, I am sorry that you were not informed. However, upon research, you'll discover that maintenance on a log home is a regular occurring thing, and it is not inexpensive. So it's very important that when it comes to your log home maintenance, that you do stick to the regular maintenance schedules that's been recommended for your log home. Otherwise, you'll end up having a log home restoration that could cost you $100,000 or more. Because when you have log rot, logs are not cheap. And it is not cheap to get them replaced and repaired on a log structure. So it is fairly expensive to do log home restoration. However, log home maintenance, if you keep up on it, you might pay every 2 years to have someone come out from a log home company, check out your logs and make sure they're still maintained properly. And then they look for log rot. Most of our clients, we tell them that they can contact us within 3 years and we'll come out and take a look at their home, check to make sure that the restoration that we did is still holding up, and to look for any areas where we might need to repair it or do a maintenance. Maintenance is one of those things that a lot of log homeowners neglect. And I do not believe that is a good idea for any log homeowner. You should pay attention to your log home maintenance needs, and it should be a priority for you every spring and fall. And I say that every spring and fall because every spring and fall, you do need to clean the exterior of your log home. In the spring, after a whole winter, you're likely to have all kinds of debris sitting on the top of those logs, some of which is completely invisible to you. So we always tell our customers that it's a simple fix. You take a bucket of either borax cleaner or any other log wash cleaner, and you dilute it as it tells you. Take a soft bristle brush, mop, and I say a bristle brush intentionally, and I say soft also, not hard bristle, but a soft bristle. Hard bristles will cause damage to the stain, but a soft bristle can get down into the cracks of your logs to remove any debris that it has accumulated over spring and fall. By washing it with a log wash or borax mixture, you also are adding to the ability to stop it from rotting out. I got a call coming in, sorry about that. But you're able to, first, borax and your log wash are great to apply to your log home for the simple fact that they are antifungal, antibacterial, and they prevent insects from seeing your home as its future hotel. So it is highly recommended that you do a clean of your log home twice a year, and that will keep your stain looking fresh and clean, and it'll keep the debris that falls on it from intruding into your stain. There are many more things that I can discuss with you regarding your log home landscaping needs or log home maintenance needs, and we're always glad to help you by giving us a call at 844 LMR 2-day, which is a 2-day, or simply put 844-567-2329. You can speak with one of our representatives. But the best way to get good log home restoration is by visiting our blog. We have all kinds of wonderful content on our blog, from log home landscaping advice with plans. We also have information regarding different log styles, fire retardant for your log home, how log rot is done, and many more things. These are all good education, and oftentimes the blogs come from questions that our customers ask of us. And then I create a blog to answer that question in greater detail so that they can refer to it in the future. So I highly recommend visiting our blog and looking through some of the content we have there to find one that fits your needs. And if you can't find the answers to your needs, feel free to send us that question to info@logmasters.com. We love getting questions like that from our website, and it also helps us create the next article. If we use your question, we will probably give you a, what's the word I'm looking for, shout out, by putting your name in the article to let you know that that was meant for you specifically. But again, if you have any questions, always feel free to send those to info@logmasters.com or visiting our website at logmasters.com. Look through the articles. You can also look at our service page, which on our service page tells you how the log home restoration process in general goes, so that you can prepare yourself for how that works. Now, it doesn't cover everything, but it does cover the basics. We also have testimonials on our website where you can see the most recent before and after photos and what our customers are saying about us. If you guys have any questions, always feel free to give us a call at 844-567-2329, and we'll be glad to help you. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching.